so sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. They're on my website. You can go listen to them. Another cryptolinguist he's for the Air Force, analyzed those. Those were taken by ghost hunters. Those last ones in Scottsville, Kentucky, in an abandoned house. They had a digital recorder trying to catch EVPs by a broken out window, and this thing came off the ridge yelling. And they caught all these. It goes longer. It's on my website. He was able to take the people talking out. So he cleaned it up. But he has compared these vocals to other Bigfoot vocals where that change in pitch goes off. You can tell it's not a coyote, right? So he vouches for them. He's hired by the military to decipher languages of other countries for us. He's also a Bigfoot researcher. There's a lot of credible people out there with a lot of experience and knowledge that do Bigfoot research, right? You know Dr. Jane Goodall, right?
Yeah.
World-renowned primatologist. Google her and Bigfoot. She admits there's a strong possibility with all the evidence there's a Bigfoot in North America from the evidence. You can listen to her say that. 10 years ago, again, these scientists wouldn't dare say that. But now we got more tracks, we got audio, we have other pictures and videos. They're hard to decipher. I can tell you later if you want to know what ones are legit and which ones are fake. But again, it's going to take a body. It's going to take a body. But we have a lot of evidence now. And let me take some questions here. Yes?
When you keep saying it take a body, all I can think of is a terrible mess in North Carolina, the top of the mountains is washed away. Is anyone, they're obviously rescuing people, but as they're moving around, is there any discussion, gosh, could we find a Bigfoot body?
Yeah, people,
like that would have been their habitat.
They are, a lot of comments, like, hey, I wonder if they've seen a Bigfoot. But I think because the devastation is so great, a lot of people, you don't want to talk about that because there are a lot of people missing still, and it's kind of rude to talk about, hey, did you see a Bigfoot? Kind of thing. You want to hear a crazy story, Beattyville?
Yes.
And I cannot vouch for this. This is a third-hand report, but this is astonishing, and I've been trying to contact a witness. It was in Beattyville years ago. But here's an interesting fact. Remember the grandma I told you that had the Bigfoot sighting by Hazel Green on the Parkway just a while ago? Remember that? In my notes on my website, if you go read that on my website, because I used to type them up back then, in parentheses next to the date, I put right after the tornado hit Beattyville. Do you guys remember the tornado that came by through here years ago? Anybody? Oh, if you're not from here, you ever heard that one?
Okay,
a tornado.
What year?
Bad story. I'd have to look back. But I put in parentheses, her sighting was right after the tornado hit the area.
You're not talking about West Liberty?
West Liberty might be. Well, West Liberty had it bad.
Yeah, maybe it was.
It was headed here, but it turned.
Yeah, it could have.
Up the river, just about.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's the story I heard. This is remarkable. And I'm dying to interview the witness. The story goes, when that hit, there was a lot of devastation. This couple they're driving in to help out. It just had happened. And they said the town crazy, the lady that, that comes running out, and tells, they said town crazy. I don't know how they know that, but she came running out to the car and she said, you got to go help so-and-so by the train track. He's injured pretty bad. Like he was out of his car and he was injured. Go help him. And by the way, I saw 5 Bigfoot walk out of the tree line, walk off the hill. So right after this tornado hit, the lady's saying, go help these people. This one guy's dying. Go help him. Oh, by the way, I saw 5 Bigfoot walk off the mountain. Isn't that crazy? So guess what happens? They go up to help him. As they were helping him, I know this is hard to believe, there was a house that had collapsed with people in it. The 5 Bigfoot came out. This is what they said. The big ones stood guard. The other ones lifted up the roof some so people can get out. The Bigfoots helped the people get out of the house. I know that's outlandish and crazy and hard to believe. I heard that through another person, so I can't vouch. I can't say it's legit. But it just, I like to think it was.
It's good Kentucky folklore anyway.
Yeah, I make good for a book, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? I'll tell you another story. Anybody have a question before I tell you another? Any other questions?
How many sightings in this area? How many?
Oh, and here, so the gorge in the area, last time I counted was 37.
Wow.
But that includes Powell, Wolf, and Lee County. 37 eyewitness sightings, not a tree break or a crazy howl. I'm talking sightings.
Where do we go to register a sighting?
Oh, my website, KentuckyBigfoot.com. Thank you. If you or someone you know has had a sighting, go to KentuckyBigfoot.com. I've got a form. You just fill out a form. You can remain anonymous. A lot of times I could do a phone interview. I could do a video interview. I could type it up if you don't want to be on camera. Now everybody just goes on camera. Now people aren't afraid to go on camera. So now it's easy for me. I just videotape it. I put it on my YouTube, which I love because you get to see their emotions. You decide. Here's the person telling you. You're not reading me type it. I'm not embellishing it, you know. Any other questions? Yeah, so we get not babies, but we call them juveniles or young ones, yes. I'll give you an example of a Bigfoot sighting with a young one. Up by Trimble County, where these casts are, the neighboring county, Carrollton, I think. A young man was on his father's farm. I think he was around 17, out in the daytime, went down in the creek. And you know, creeks are mostly tree-lined. That's why in the movie The Legend of Boggy Creek, they always say, they always travel the creeks, you know, because they're tree-lined. They go under every road, basically, so they can cross interstates and roads because the creeks go under them. It hides their tracks. It's water. There's other, you know, animals there to eat, etc. So they travel the creeks. This young man did not have a gun, did not have his phone. He went to his grandfather's farm. He got down in the creek. He's walking the creek. He hears splashing. He comes up to a berm, looks over the berm, and there's an adult Sasquatch standing there with a young one playing in the water. He said the young one, oh, wait a second. He said the young one was playing in the water like a child would, splashing and playing. He got so nervous watching these things because he did not have a gun, did not have his phone. And he's watching just over the berm through the bushes. That adult Sasquatch turned around, looked right at him, threw up her arms and screamed. And when it threw its arms up and screamed, the young one sprang up and ran into the woods. And the boy ran home. But that's another one where we've had a sighting with adults in a small. There's a one that's a tragic story on Fort Knox. I'm not going to tell the whole story. It's on my YouTube. It's a deathbed confession where a sergeant shot 4 Bigfoot, and the young one got away. It's tragic, and he told that because he had about a year to live. And he said, when I pass away, you're welcome to share this story. So you can listen to it on my YouTube channel. When I was interviewing him, I didn't know that's what he was telling me. He wanted to come on an expedition. My phone records conversations. Do you know there's a law? As long as one person knows you're recording, it's okay? That makes no sense. So the person recording, as long as they know it's okay, you would think both people need to know that it's legal. But anyway, the app was on there to record witnesses. Back in the day, I would record their testimony, then type it up. and I would forget to leave it on. Thank goodness I've got my late mother, her stories recorded, by accident. This guy wanted to go on an expedition. He sent me an email. Can I come on your expedition? But I need to know, is there a hospital nearby? I said, I better call him because there's no hospital. I need to find out his situation. I called him. On the phone, he goes, yeah, I better not come, but I'm a knower, not a believer. I was a sergeant for Fort Knox in the 70s, and we were helping local PD eradicate the marijuana around Fort Knox. Fort Knox is thousands of acres. It backs up to homes. There's no wall around Fort Knox like you think. And they were helping local PD eradicate the marijuana, and they got a call from the chopper. Oops, sorry.
Blew over. The sign blew over.
All right, anyway, the story goes, they get a call from the chopper that we have some individuals up here, get up here quick. They're in a 113, I'm gonna tell you the story. They're in a 113, said we're fast. Man, we got up on the ridge, there they were, there was 5 of them, a big male, a female, she was hung up in a bear trap. Do you know the cornbread mafia? They'll kill you if you find their marijuana patches. They'll kill you. You heard what happened in Bardstown, right, on A&E? The shootings and unsolved mysteries, the tragic loss of the police officer was ambushed. They ambushed him on an exit. They barricaded the exit and some sniper shot the police officer. That whole area by Bardstown is on A&E. There's unsolved mysteries for no reason. And we think it's drug related, cornbread mafia, etc. That's near Fort Knox, okay? Yeah. So they will booby trap their marijuana patches. The female was hung up, her leg near torn off. The big one had the chain in his hand trying to get her out. She had a baby in her arms, and there's 2 younger ones that are reddish brown. Reddish brown is the dominant color of Bigfoot, by the way, in Kentucky. We do have black ones and gray ones and white ones. But anyway, when they got up there, that big one dropped the chain, it roared, and it came at them, and they opened up on them. They emptied their clips. And he said it dropped about 12 feet in front of the track. And the little one got away. I said, man, when I was listening to this, you can hear me in the interview. You hear my voice. I get upset. I go, why'd you do that? Like, why? Because back then we didn't know what it were. We didn't know. They called them the creatures afterwards. But it came at us. It would have been bad either way. We didn't know. I go, then what happened? Did you go up and look at them? What happened to the bodies? Another sergeant came up, went up to each one, put a round in each ear hole, right? Took us to Ireland Army Hospital, gave us shots, took our battle dress uniforms. We had to sign non-disclosure. They said a man with white hair came in and had to sign non-disclosure, never to talk about this. I go, why are you telling me this now? I've got stage 4 cancer. I got about a year. And so I'm sorry. You can hear this whole conversation, by the way, just like I'm saying it. And after I talked to him, I hung up and I go, oh my gosh, I recorded that. That app was on. So I called him later. I said, can I share that story? He said, no, I got a daughter in Mount Washington still. I said, don't share it yet. But after I pass on, you're welcome to share it. So unfortunately, the gentleman's passed on. But now it's on my YouTube channel. You can listen to it. But the point of that is this is adults with a young one. It had a young one with it. So any other questions?
Why didn't they preserve the bodies?
Oh, why?
Yeah, why didn't they preserve the bodies?
I'm sure they did something with them. I think the government knows. I think the government knows for that reason because here's what he said. A man with white hair came in. We had to sign non-disclosure. They called them the creatures. There's other reports in Fort Knox, by the way. That wasn't the first report. They had a protocol in place. So I do think the government knows. I'll give you another example. I got a doctor friend. He works at a children's hospital in Tennessee. He's a Bigfoot researcher. He asked one of his buddies, who's former government, he goes, can you tell me, do you guys know? He said, yes, we classify him as species 5. And what are species 1, 2, 3, 4? And Who knows, you know. But anyway, I'm about done here. I'll be happy to talk more. We'll be here all day. I've got more stories. I got
You're in
more
my
evidence to share. Any other questions while I got the mic?
Tell us more about your museum you're opening.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So we are opening the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Center and Museum. And it's going to be in the Red River Gorge on KY15. It's in Pine Ridge, Kentucky. It's on the loop as you pass Coomer Ridge, going to Sky Bridge. We're going to be right there. Hopefully by the spring, we're going to have it open. I'll tell you one quick story in there. The Clifty Wilderness area, you heard of that, right? Rodney Adams had a Bigfoot sighting in the Clifty Wilderness area. He was my witness years ago. It's on my website typed up. He since went on the Travel Channel. These woods are haunted. You ever see that on the Travel Channel? These woods are haunted. Rodney's on the camera talking about the Clifty Wilderness area where the Bigfoot was down in the creek messing with his pans. And when he saw it, it threw the pan and walked off. Rodney has that pan still. I go, Rodney, I want that for my museum. We're going to do your report, the pan that Bigfoot threw. Right? So anyway, another exciting thing. I hope you don't mind me saying this. Is that right? We have a Bigfoot festival in Stanton. It's approved. 31st. The website, I'm working on it now. It's free. Dr. Jeff Meldrum's going to be there. He's our headliner. Cliff Barackman from Finding Bigfoot. The Mountain Monsters, they're already approved. We already got down payments on them. Tons of other celebrities and activities all day. The Stanton City Park, May 30th, 31st. What? Oh, so watch KentuckyBigfoot.com. My website, KentuckyBigfoot.com. If you want to be a vendor or know somebody, vendor spots are $100. Without electric, with electric is $150. It's going to be big. So thank you guys.
Thank you.